Hello students, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another BNS class. In today's video, we are going to discuss the features of BNS. Earlier, we had discussed the scope of the legislation, the preamble of BNS, then we also discussed the historical background of BNS, what was applicable before BNS and all that. So in today's class, we are going to discuss the features of BNS. Now, you will be seeing is like the bullet points, like the main features, but then I also have detailed notes explaining all of these features and all the other things related to BNS. If you are interested to get the detailed notes, including questions and answers, you can drop a WhatsApp message. But what I'm sharing here is just like a reference points for you so that you understand the video in a better way. Now, talking about the features of BNS. So, BNS, it is a great like a shift for India in terms of the criminal law, because the criminal law that was applicable to us, it was from the time of Britishers. So this change in law, it has shown like a massive movement, because this present law, it tries to deal with the modern day problems or the modern day crimes that we have seen increasing, like cyber crimes and all. So we are going to look at the features of BNS today. So when you talk about BNS or Bharatiya Nyay Sanhita, it introduces a range of innovative features which are designed to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of Indian criminal justice system. So whatever we felt was missing in IPC, right, or whatever offenses or whatever definitions were not clear, all of that is addressed in this new legislation BNS. Now, talking about the features, the first feature we can mention is community service. So, this is a new type of punishment which is aimed at rehabilitation. Instead of sending the offender to jail, right, giving him jail time, offenders may be ordered to perform some unpaid work that is going to benefit the community. So offenders, whoever has done something wrong, they will do some work which is going to help or benefit the community at large, but then they are not going to pay for it. So it is, in a way, they will also learn their mistake, and this in turn is also uh, like giving some positive impact on the community or on the society, rather than sending the person to the jail, which is again another cost on the government, right? So community service is added as a form of punishment in certain type of offenses under BNS. And this community service as a form of punishment, it is in line with the modern principles of restorative justice. So community service is also mentioned as a form of specific type of punishment under section 4 of BNS. If you look at the barrett, you will be able to see that along with all the other remaining types of punishments which were already given in IPC, this community service is added as a new form of punishment. Then the second feature is enhanced punishment for repeated offenders. So BNS incorporates provisions for an increased penalty for individuals who are convicted multiple times for the same kind of offense. Sometimes we see one person has committed the same type of offense again and again. So that particular punishment is going to get harsher punishment than the one who is a first time offender. So if somebody has committed an offense, like a person is having history of committing the same offense again and again, for repeated offenders, it imposes a harsher punishment than the ones who are doing it for the first time. So that is also a very good initiative that is taken by BNS, because though that indicates that this person is like a repeated offender, right? This person has a history of committing that particular type of offenses. Then the third feature is specific definitions and explanations. So BNS provides precise definition for various words, which includes rape, sexual harassment, stalking, voyeurism, etc., in order to avoid any sort of ambiguity that may remain. And it also ensures clarity in legal proceedings. We know what is this certain type of offense, or what all things are also considered as this particular offense. So a definition always makes it very clear, and BNS has made sure that they define these like sort of vague words properly and clearly enough. So if you talk about rape, section 63 of the Act defines rape to include various forms of sexual assault, recognizing the diverse nature of sexual violence. Then section 75 defines the word sexual harassment. So it clearly defines what constitutes sexual harassment, which was previously like a gray area. Then section 78 defines stalking, which also provides a clear definition of stalking, recognizing it as a serious type of offense. So this is also a very common and increasing in the like present this time. So it's very important that these words are being defined. Then voyeurism is also defined under section 77. So it defines voyeurism as an offense, addressing the growing concern about privacy violations. Then the next feature is gender neutral language. So BNS adopts a gender neutral language to promote inclusivity and recognize the rights of all individuals. In BNS, the pronoun he and its derivatives are used to refer to any person regardless of their gender. So if you look at IPC also, the term gender was defined that gender will, this pronoun he, whenever he is used, it will include any person, whether male or female. But then in BNS, this particular word was defined under section 2 clause 10. Gender is defined, and this definition says that this pronoun he and its derivatives are used for any person, whether it's a male, female, or transgender. So this word transgender was not a part of IPC. It only said he would include male and female, but then BNS has made it clear that he or its derivatives will mean male, female, transgender, anybody. So they have not used, whenever you look at the definitions, he and his derivatives are used, but then it would mean everybody. So these things are made clear in the definition part itself. So you can remember this section. It is section 2 clause 10 that defines the word gender. Next feature is that it focuses on offenses against women and children. So BNS dedicates specific chapters for these kind of offenses, showing the strong commitment to protecting these vulnerable groups. In IPC also, we saw that there were different types of offenses against women, children, those were there. But then certain new types or new provisions are also been added in BNS. So first of all, we have provision for marital rape under section 67. So marital rape as such is not like fully criminalized, but then BNS makes provision that marital rape is considered as an offense. Okay, so it is considered as an offense for a husband to have sexual intercourse with his wife without her consent if they are living separately. So when we say living separately, it could be that they are under judicial separation or under some decree or otherwise. If they are living separately without the wife's consent, if husband has sexual intercourse with the wife, that is considered as marital rape. And punishment is also provided for that, which is it shall not be less than 2 years, but it can go up to 7 years of imprisonment along with fine. Then BNS also talks about punishment for causing death or persistent vegetative state of the victim under section 66. So it introduces stricter punishment for offenders who cause the victim's death. In many situations, we see, right, that Calcutta doctor rape case, right, Nirbhaya murder case, all of that we see, right, that there are many situations wherein the victim at the end dies or the victim is left in a persistent vegetative state where it's almost like the person is dead only. So in case that happens, okay, BNS introduces stricter punishment for offenders who cause victims death or leave them in a persistent vegetative state during the commission of offenses like rape. So such offenders shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment which shall not be less than 12 years. In any case, it shall not be less than 12 years, but it can extend up to imprisonment for life. And when we say imprisonment for life, it means imprisonment for the remainder of that person's natural life, or with death also it can be punished. So it imposes stricter punishment for those kind of offenders. Then BNS also makes provision or provides for punishment for disclosure of identity of the victim, and this provision is given under section 72 of BNS. So there are certain situations wherein disclosure of victim's identity is prohibited. Right? So BNS prohibits disclosing victim's identity in certain offenses, including rape. And in case any person prints or publishes the name or any matter which may make known the identity of the person. Maybe name is not used, but then certain other things are used which will make it clear that, okay, you are referring to this person only. Right? So if that is done, whose identity is like prohibited, whose disclosure of identity was prohibited, if that is disclosed, then there is punishment under BNS also, and such person can be punished with imprisonment which can extend up to 2 years, and they can also be made liable to fine. So it also imposes punishment for those who disclose identity of victims whose identity should not be revealed as per provisions of BNS or any other law for that matter. Then the next feature is modern offenses. So BNS addresses contemporary challenges by incorporating provisions related to organized crimes, terrorist acts, and cyber crimes, etc. If you look at the BEAR Act section 111, it defines what is an organized crime. So it defines and provides punishment for organized crime, including offenses like kidnapping, extortion, cyber crimes committed by syndicates. That is also being defined. Then section 113 defines terrorist acts, and it also lays down the punishment for acts which are intended to threaten the unity, integrity, and security of India. Then you also see provisions with regard to cybercrime, which includes provisions to address various cyber crimes and recognizing the growing threat in the digital age, right? Cyber crimes are increasing like anything. So that is also addressed under the provisions of BNS. Next feature is offenses related to Army, Navy, Air Force, etc. So BNS addresses such offenses which are like abetting mutiny, abetting desertion, and wearing grab or carrying tokens used by soldiers, sailors, or airmen, etc. Those offenses are also made a part of BNS. Then offenses relating to election. BNS covers offenses relating to elections, including bribery, undue influence, personation, making false statements, etc. All of that is included. Then there are offenses relating to coins, currency notes, bank notes, government stamps, etc. Then we also have offenses relating to public tranquility, which includes unlawful assembly, rioting, affray, promoting enmity between different groups, etc. BNS also makes provision for offenses relating to or offenses committed by public servants, such as disobeying the law or engaging in unlawful trade or framing of incorrect documents, etc. Those things are also included under the provisions of BNS. Then we also have provisions with regard to contempts of the lawful authority of public servant. Right? BNS addresses contempts such as absconding to avoid summons, then preventing service of summons or non-attendance in disobedience to an order. Right? If somebody is ordered that you need to appear in the court on so and so date for hearing, and the person is absconding so that he can avoid the summons, or he is preventing the service of summons, right? In such cases, it would be considered as contempt of lawful authority, and there is punishment provided for that also under BNS. Then we also have false evidence, right? False evidence and offenses relating to public justice, which is a common type of offense that we see, right? False evidences are submitted or produced before the court so that the person gets a decision in their favor. So these are also addressed, right? Like offenses like giving false evidence, fabricating false evidence, threatening a person to give false evidence. All of these are included under the provisions of BNS. Then offenses affecting public health, safety, convenience, decency, and morals. These are also included, which would also include public nuisance, adulteration of food and drugs, rash driving, sale of obscene books, right? Those things are also included as part of BNS. So all of these were some of the important features of BNS, which makes it a landmark legislation in India's criminal legal system. And this legislation, it reflects a comprehensive effort to modernize and reform the law of the country, addressing a wide range of offenses and incorporating new forms of punishment to ensure justice and to protect rights of all the citizens. So this is what we had for the features of this legislation, and the notes that you are seeing on the screen. This is just a brief so that you can refer it and you get it. But then for detailed notes and for questions and answers and everything, you can always drop a WhatsApp message to know more about it. So I do have detailed notes for all the topics and everything. Questions and answers are also included there. And apart from that also, if you feel that okay, some question you have come across which is not added in the notes, you can always send those to me and I will add them as well in the notes. So it is inclusive of all the questions that I have come across, and you can also contribute there. You can always send me those. So that's all for today's class. I will see you next time with another topic of BNS. Until then, bye bye.